Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Grassroots Racing Show.
Hi, I'm Doug Thompson of the Grassroots Racing Show with co-host Roger Thompson. Roger, we've got a busy show today, so we're going to jump to it pretty quick order, but I've got Jim Petty coming up. I did an interview with Jim for the Blacktop Nationals coming up at Wichita, August the 23rd through the 25th. We sent Mike Kraft somewhere. Where'd we send him?
California, didn't we?
California, Missouri, Double X Speedway for hobby stock, street stock, wing sprint cars. Going to be some great racing. You're going to enjoy the show. Stay tuned for the Grassroots Racing Show. Hi, I'm Doug Thompson of the Kansas Auto Racing Museum. I would like to invite you to join me and 180,000 of your friends for the Blacktop Nationals 4th Annual Classic Car and Bike Show on August the 23rd through the 25th at beautiful downtown Wichita. More than 1,000 classic cars, truck, and motorcycles are expected. For more information, go to our website at blacktopnationals.com. This year's Blacktop Nationals presented by these fine sponsors. Hi, I'm Doug Thompson of the Grassroots Racing Show. Welcome to today's show. Before we cut out to a racetrack and go to some racing action, I want to visit with a special guest. I'm visiting with Jim Petty today. Jim, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome, Doug.
And we're talking a little bit about the Blacktop Nationals that are coming up in Wichita. And this is the, of course, it's the 4th Annual Classic Car and Bike Show. And you're one of the board members for it.
Yes, I am.
Tell me about the Blacktop Nationals.
Well, we started off about 4 years ago, and it's a huge car event. It's not just a show. We literally take over about a square mile of downtown Wichita, and we've got so many events you just almost can't get to all of them in the period of the 3 days that we have the show.
And I understand from like last year's show, there was about 160,000 people went through that show.
That's what the city of Wichita says. I didn't count them all.
Well, you couldn't have got all of those, Jim. At first, I know you couldn't count that high.
Oh,
but,
I think I could.
Could you? Okay. But you had about 1,000 cars and or bikes,
yes,
right?
Yes.
What are you expecting for this year?
It's hard to say. We had 20 states represented last year, and we're hoping to add a few more to it. And we've got some new things going on this year, one of which was I'm very, very happy about, and that is what we call Gasoline Alley.
I read about that. Tell me about Gasoline Alley. What's that mean?
Well, inside Century 2 in Convention Hall, we're going to be filled up with nothing but race vehicles. I strong-armed you in to bring down a couple of cars, a car and a truck, actually.
Yeah, we're going to bring a Craftsman truck, and we're bringing my Goodies Dash car that was in the first NASCAR race at Homestead Speedway. I got 10th in that car that day. And so you've asked me to bring that one. We're going to try and make that happen. And Gasoline Alley, how did the name for the Gasoline Alley come up? Was it from the Indy?
Well, that's what it was originally from. It took a long time for us to get permission to use that. But with with your profession, you know how all that works with the attorneys and everything.
Yeah.
But we have permission to use it from the owners of Gasoline Alley.
And I happen to know, Jim, that you, well, of course, a couple of things about Jim Petty. You're from a racing family.
Absolutely.
And your dad is Jack Petty, and of course, his car has been in here multiple times in the Kansas Auto Racing Museum, and that's where we're filming at today, is at the Sentinel Studio within the Kansas Auto Racing Museum. I've got pictures of Jack's accident that he was involved in Hutchinson, and Jack has been here lots of times. He's a friend and a supporter of the Auto Racing Museum. So you guys grew up with racing.
Well, Dad started racing the same year I was born. So I literally have been around it my entire life.
Yeah, you're like the other Petty, and you guys are related to the Richard Petty and Lee Petty, distant
real
relative.
Distantly. I think you have to go all the way back to the Civil War to find that common link.
Well, on good days when it helps, you're really closely related, but if it's not going so well, then why, distant relatives.
There you go.
Okay. But anyway, so you've been around racing forever, and I know that you did quite a bit of work on research about Kansans racing at the Indianapolis 500.
Yes, I did.
And you were telling me, matter of fact, you dropped off a picture here for the museum, but at one time you were telling me that Kansas has the most Indy 500 winners
of any state.
And so we got Roger Ward out of Beloit.
He won twice in 59 and 62.
And you got Johnny Rutherford out of Coffeyville.
He won in 1974, 76, and 80.
And you got Mears, Rick Mears.
Rick Mears won in 78, 84, 88, and 91.
And he was driving for Penske
Roger
at the time.
Penske,
Yeah.
yes.
Is there anybody else from Kansas that has won that we've overlooked?
Not the Indy 500.
Okay.
Actually, we had a guy out of Kansas City that won 5 times at that racetrack before they ever ran the very first Indy 500.
Yeah, I remember hearing that story. But let me go back to the Blacktop Nationals. I saw the projections for this year. You're looking at perhaps getting as many as 180,000 visitors to come through. And this is held in Wichita, in downtown Wichita. Beautiful facility. What's the building, the primary building that it will be in?
The Century 2 Convention Hall.
Okay, and the dates are August the 23rd, which is a Friday night, through Sunday the 25th.
Yes.
Okay, is there a price to get in?
It's everything outside for spectators is free. It's $5 to get into Century 2.
Okay.
And inside Century 2 we have an expo hall, we have a trade show going on, and we've got some great vendors, Ford Performance Racing. We just announced a couple of days that Roush Performance is going to be there.
Great.
Flowmaster mufflers, exhaust systems, and McGuire's is going to be there. We've got a lot of outside vendors. Inside Convention Hall is where we're going to have Gasoline Alley. We've got about 9 decades of race vehicles that will be represented there.
Man, that's good. I want you to hold that thought for a minute, because when we come back from break, I want to talk about how this came about, and we're going to talk about some of the sponsors and things. Time for us to take a break. You're watching the Grassroots Racing Show.
I'm Ken Tatro, and you're watching the Grassroots Racing Show on my favorite network.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm host Doug Thompson with special guest Jim Petty of the Blacktop Nationals. And Jim, you're one of the board members. We're coming up on the 4th annual Blacktop Nationals, and it's the Classic Car and Bike Show. It's August the 23rd, which is a Friday, through the 25th in downtown Wichita. Am I right?
That's correct.
And everything outside of the Century 2 building is free. Visitors can just come up and look at the displays, the exhibits, and there's going to be, I'm assuming there'll be vendors?
Yes, there will be.
And what else will be outside?
The Ford Ride and Drive is a big attraction.
What's that?
That you got to go into Century 2 to be able to sign up for it, but then you go back out and you get to drive one of the Ford vehicles. So one of the dealers will bring in a bunch of new vehicles, and then they put you in a Mustang and take you for a drive through a road course set up in one of the parking lots. I call it a knee knocker ride. Your knees are just knocking against the door console on one side.
Because it's a left and right turns.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they let the visitors, he get to,
Ford brings in professional drivers to do this.
You know, speaking of Ford, this event is sponsored by the Midwest Ford dealers. They're a major sponsor for this event, aren't they?
Yes, and they have been from the beginning.
Oh, so how many cars will they have down there that they'll be giving people the chance to drive?
Well, they've got pretty much everything in the Ford lineup.
Okay.
They probably won't have a Raptor truck this year. They're selling them faster than they can build them, so they're not spending a lot of time marking that.
Okay.
But everything from the Tauruses and the entire Ford lineup, F-150 and the Mustangs.
Okay, and the Mustang that's going to be, that they'll be doing the knee-knocking ride in, what is it? What, 5.0, 5.8, what is that engine in it?
You know, I can't tell you. I know it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, they've got that Mustang, that new Mustang is beautiful.
It's wonderful. I did the ride the first year, and I think I disappointed the guy. He asked me what I thought, and I said, well, you know, for most people I can see this be really exciting, but the way I grew up, it was kind of like going to the grocery store with my dad.
Yeah, it would have felt that way because you were around racing forever. Okay, so what else will they find outside?
Saturday will be a big motorcycle rally and a lot of motorcycle vendors. Lots and lots of show cars. Up on Douglas be all the judged cars. Over on McLean Boulevard will be all the non-judged cars. Some really nice cars over there, but the guys felt like they just couldn't compete with some of the trailer queens that are being judged.
Sure. And so there's cars that come in from last year. You said there were 20 states?
We had 20 states represented, and we know this from the people that signed up for our drawings.
Oh, okay. And the show cars that come in, they come from all over the nation?
They come from all over the place.
Wow, that's going to be exciting.
I know one couple drove in from Indianapolis with an old Pontiac with no air conditioning.
Oh, wow. Well, that's carrying a little far. It's fun to drive the old car, but after a little bit, it's an old car. And let's see, you'll have food vendors?
We've got about a dozen food trucks that'll be all over the place.
So there'll be the smell of the barbecue and the Mexican food and all of those foods will be right there.
Just about everything.
Yeah, man, that sounds pretty good. And then what else have you got outside? Anything else you want?
Well, at high noon on Saturday, we're going to have a gunfight.
Well, that can happen anywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know about high noon, but
we've got the old Cowtown gunfighters. So they're going to be staging a gunfight out there. We've got a roller derby team that is going to be
putting on an exhibition.
Well, they are, but they're going to be wearing poodle skirts like back in the 50s.
How neat!
And they're actually going to provide like a car hop service to all the show car guys. They'll come by and get their orders, go to the food truck, get it, and bring it back.
Bring a drink back. That's going to be cool. That's going to be fun to watch. This is really a family event, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. My 5-year-old grandson absolutely loves it.
Great. And then you got something called Kids Zone. What's that?
Well, Kids Zone is another show I work.
Okay.
That actually is the Starboard Devlin show, which is a great show in January.
Okay, so you don't do that. That's not involved down here.
We don't have the Kids Zone at this particular show.
Okay. Now there's some charities that benefit from the Blacktop Nationals.
Kansas Honor Flight.
And what is the Kansas Honor Flight?
Kansas Honor Flight has been on a mission to take every World War II veteran back to Washington, D.C. to see the war memorials back there. And they believe they've gotten all of the Kansas World War II veterans back there, so they're starting to work on the Korean War veterans now.
Yeah, I think I read on their website that they were working on the Korean War and then the Vietnam War era. Okay, and that's an event that the Honor Flight, there's no charge to the service member.
That is correct.
And so they have to raise the money because they don't get any government funding for it either, do they?
That's right.
And then they fly them back to Washington, D.C. and go to the monument and then bring them back home safely.
And if you can just talk to these veterans that have been on one of those flights and see the way their eyes light up when they talk about it, it's worth everything we can put into it.
Yeah, we're familiar with that. We've helped out in that fashion. We also, on another show that my brother Roger and I do called Hey, Whatever Happened To? And each week is a different celebrity from Kansas. And we devoted 1 month worth of those shows to people who were World War II veterans. And of course they're up there in years. But wow, what a commitment they made. And I can see why, well, certainly we call it that, the greatest generation America's ever had, because it sure seems to me that they are. So there's another charity that's a beneficiary of this.
McPherson College.
And is that the auto restoration?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the funds will go to McPherson College for the auto restoration program?
That's correct.
And that, of course, is a program, that's the only one in the nation, as I recall, that
is.
will give a degree for automobile restoration.
That's correct.
And they are very, very successful, not only with the program, but being able to place those students when they get out.
Yes, and they just built a car to run in the Great American Race. And they successfully built the car, entered the race, and won the race.
Wow, how good. How good is that for them?
And I believe it was a 57 Ford.
I know Jay Leno is on their board of directors.
As well as Craig Jackson from Barrett Jackson.
We got to take another break and pay a few bills. So we're going to be back. You're watching the Grassroots Racing Show.
This is Scotty Anderson, and you're watching my favorite show, Grassroots Racing.
Welcome back to the Grassroots Racing Show. I'm Doug Thompson with special guest Jim Petty from the Blacktop Nationals. Once again, in case some are just coming on to the show, we're talking about the Blacktop Nationals coming up. This is the 4th annual event. It's a classic car and bike show held at downtown Wichita at Century 22, and that is on August the 23rd, which is a Friday, and goes through August the 25th, Sunday.
That's correct.
And everything is free outside of the Century 2 building.
Free for spectators.
Free for
There's
spectators,
an entry
sure.
for people to enter the cars and show.
Well, yeah,
like
they
that,
get judged, they get trophies, and they win money for...
Yes,
well,
trophies
sure.
and money.
No, then they have to pay an entry fee. It's like racing, isn't it?
You bet.
So we were talking a little bit before we went to break about what is outside of the facility. And there's going to be some live music, some concerts.
We've got several bands will be playing. We've got 2 different bandstands set up. We've got a lot of events that are going on outside besides just the car show. We've got a gunfight at high noon. We've got over on McLean Boulevard Saturday afternoon. We've got a pink fire truck that's going to be there. They're raising money for leukemia.
Cancer fund. Oh, mm-hmm.
And a lot of little things like that. Trevor Bain's nationwide car will be outside on Saturday at the Cargill Cook-Off.
And of course, for those people who don't know, Trevor won the Daytona 500. And when he did, that was his first Daytona race. I think he was only 21 at the time, or was he 20? 20 at the time. I don't remember if I've talked to him over the phone once or twice, but I hear this about him. Very nice guy. So it's going to be fun for those who are NASCAR racing fans to come by, take a look at his nationwide car. What else have you got?
Inside Century 2, besides the Gasoline Alley display, we've got what we call our $1 million car display. Now, that doesn't mean that every car in that display is worth $1 million, but collectively there's millions of dollars worth of show cars in there. One really interesting one in there is, I believe it's a '67 Shelby that was once owned by Jim Morrison of the Doors.
Oh, yeah. The lead singer for the Doors.
Yes.
And, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the owner of that car has tried every way possible to prove that was not Jim Morrison's car. But everything keeps leading him back to it was. So that was kind of interesting. We've got cars you don't normally see at car shows will be in this show. We've got some everything from I know there's a great '68 GTO that's going to be in there, and that was probably the first big muscle car that I ever drove and got myself in trouble with. So that one kind of.
I can go back a few before those, back to the '59 when they had the 348 Chevys and the. And then a little bit later, that 389 Pontiac came out, factory car with the 3.2s, and then of course you got the 406 Chevy and the Ford 427, and Chevy came out with one of them, and then a 454, on and on. You can see we burned a lot of rubber up and down the streets, paid a lot of fines over the years growing up. You're familiar with that.
You bet.
Well, you've got this Gasoline Alley. Tell me a little bit more about Gasoline Alley, because we're going to have one or two of the cars from the Auto Racing Museum will be there. So what is that?
We're going to have about 50 cars in there representing about 9 decades of racing, all the way from the 20s clear up until current year stuff. We've got an ARCA car coming in that is just the way it came off the racetrack at Talladega in May. And
who drove that?
Well, Barry.
It's only a 30-minute program we only got here, so it'll be on the car anyway as to who drove.
My nephew Jeremy was the spotter for that car.
And that would be Jeremy Petty, who's raced in the ARCA series and the Nationwide series, and of course was in the movie Can We Talk?
Yes.
And he's going to be down there. Does he have a car down there too?
Well, he's planning on having the car he drove in the movie down.
Oh, very good. That would be a modified number 77.
Yes.
That's a beautiful car, and he did a fantastic job in that movie, not only with the acting part, but then with the driving scenes. And what's cool about that one is Jeremy and I got to shoot the racing scenes in there. And when we got ready to shoot it, I only told Jeremy one time. Jeremy says, how's this scene play out? I said, Jeremy, what we're going to do is, I said, we'll go around with, it'll be a King of the Hill event, and we'll race it 3 times, green, white, checker. And I said, I want you'll win the first one. And I don't want to give the whole thing away, come to think of it. But I said, for the third one, what'll happen is, I said, when we come across the finish line, I want you to bring your car right up to the door, right on the door of mine. And let's just let them rub, and we'll go underneath the finish line. Only had to tell Jeremy once, and he did it just perfect. We got done, the producer of the show, when we came back and went underneath and got the checker, and we came back around to see if it was a take, and he said it was perfect, because he said I could hardly tell who won from the flag stand, and it really took the camera, and to make that come out on for the television purpose or for the movie purpose, we had to take and slow-mo it to be able to tell which car actually won, and he did a fantastic job. You can be proud of him. He's a good young man. I know you are proud of him.
I've seen him win a lot of races with that particular car.
Yeah, he ran in Oklahoma on some asphalt with it too, didn't he? Yeah. So what else have you got in Gasoline Alley?
We got at least 1, maybe 2 Bonneville Lake Roasters coming in.
What are they? What's that mean? Bonneville Lake Roasters.
Very, very long, narrow machines.
Like a dragster.
That run.
Flat,
300-400 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, the salt flats. Oh, you got you.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I understand that.
And we've got a slingshot dragster coming in. We've got several drag cars coming in. Some of the Kansas Antique Racers will be there with their open wheel stuff. Got some pretty neat old Simulate stuff that'll be there, and just a little bit of everything. We've got I think the car's been in here before, the one out of Salina that won the Michigan race in 1968, placed fourth in the Indy 500 in 1966, Todd Krall's car.
Yeah.
The Gerhard Offie. It'll be there. And I don't know whether you knew this or not, but Jackie Stewart actually drove that car at one time.
I did not know that. I did not know that. In
1969, he drove it over in Japan and blew it up.
Formula One driver. Well, listen, Blacktop Nationals, Wichita, the 23rd of August through the 25th of August.
Yes.
And you got to go to it. Welcome back. I'm Doug Thompson with the Grassroots Racing Show. We're visiting with Jim Petty concerning the Blacktop Nationals coming up at Wichita, August the 23rd through the 25th. And man, that sounds like a huge event. You get a chance to go to that and be with 180,000 of your friends. Vendor food outside, there's shopping outside. It's in downtown Wichita, so it's a beautiful setting. You can, it's very affordable. You can go inside to Century 2, and it just is going to be a fun weekend. But you're doing something even more special for some lucky person that has a chance of winning something there. What is that? Tell me about it.
Well, Doug, while you're down there, don't forget to sign up to win a 1929 Model A two-door sedan.
And how cool would that be?
It's a beautiful car.
And somebody's got to be sponsoring that because that's expensive. That's who's doing all that?
KLWS Radio.
And they're what? Call signals 107.9 on the FM side, right?
Yes.
And somebody's going to leave with that car.
Yes.
And that's fully restored.
It is.
Man, that would be.
And it is beautiful.
That would be nice. Can people who, like me, have cars in there at the gasoline alley, can we win that?
Yes, you can.
Without getting a lot of objections from people? Probably not.
Well,
I understand. I'm only kidding you, Jim. Listen, you're going to have a good time at the Nationals, and we're looking forward to having our cars down there, being there with you with 180,000 people. Thanks for watching the Grassroots Racing Show. Thanks to Jim Petty.
Thanks, Doug.
Hi, I'm Doug Thompson on behalf of the Kansas Auto Racing Museum in Chapman. There's a lot to see at the 15-acre racing complex. Did you know the first NHRA event was held in Great Bend in 1955? We have the original film footage, original correspondence between Sunflower Club for Great Bend and the NHRA. We even have the first NHRA trophy. Come visit us Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and be sure to bring the family. Relive racing memories of the past. Experience a celebration of speed that continues in racing today at the Kansas Auto Racing Museum.
Hobby stock main event time, 12 big laps. Your pole setter, the 12 gauge. Gage Wineland is your pole setter in the 12. AJ Wirtz will be the outside in the Double X machine. Secker on the inside in the 1B. Mike Schrader to his outside will register in the 77, your current points leader here at the Double X Speedway. Rudy Wirtz will be in the 2X. He starts inside of row 3 to his outside. Chuck Coffey in the 171. Kevin Prowl is in the 14 machine, and Jeremiah Wallingford in the 84. Johnson, the crew chief tonight, in the 775. That's Philip. And his outside will be Laura Atkinson, our birthday girl, in the 4A. Starting tailback tonight in the final row will be Larry Dixon in the 34 machine, and Rachel Oleniak in the 09R. All right, one more time. Let's do this. Here we go. So now Mike Schrader and AJ Wirtz left to settle it out, but here comes your point leader, Will Register, trying to make his way to the front already. Put Register into that second spot. He'll set his sights on your early race leader. Will he lead lap number 1? Oh, big contact here off of 4. The Double X of AJ Wirtz and the 77 of Will Register coming together. That allows some separation. Now Will tries to get back to the front. Rachel Oleniak has problems in that 09R. As your current race leader, Mike Schrader leads lap number 2. Slow car down to the low side. Everybody able to get by. Chuck Coffey now in that 171 having a good run, but don't look now. Gage Wineland is making his way to the front. Wineland's up to that 4th spot. A.J. Wirtz now trying to make this a two-car battle up front, trying to challenge Mike Schrader, your current race leader. Will Register in third, Gage Wineland in fourth. Chuck Coffey holding on to fifth. Oh, contact off of four. Contact opens up the door now for Gage Wineland. Now Wineland nearly loses control. We got a lot of action up front, fans. Wineland may have problems on that number 12 machine. Looks like he's going to take that car down to the low side. Schrader will lead another one. Oh, we get a little tap there from the Double X now of A.J. Wirtz. Wirtz will make his way around to the outside of Mike Schrader. Wirtz gives him the Krone horn and takes the lead. Wineland unable to continue. He pulls the 12 machine to the inside. New race leader that time by was A.J. Wirtz in the Double X. Will Register now back into that second spot. Schrader slips back to third, just in front of Chuck Coffey in that fourth position. Seven laps down that time by, 5 to go, 5 laps remain. Can A.J. Wirtz hang on, or will Register pick up the victory? They get away. Philip Johnson now as they put him a lap down. Here comes Wirtz to lead, lap number 8. Side-by-side battle back there for the third spot. We got a challenge up front now. Will Register dives to the low side. Register to the low side. He'll grab the lead there in corner number 3. Will he be your leader this time by? Watch him. New race leader Will Register at lap number 9. Coming around to complete lap 10. And we got a spinner down here off the corner. Yellow flag will come out. Yellow flag flies. Spinner down here in the corner. It's the 2 machine. 2X of Rudy Wirtz brings out the caution flag. Well, Will Register has had a lot of work to do to make his way to the front, but nonetheless, after starting third, Will grabs the lead at lap number 9, and he is your current race leader. A lot of action there with A.J. Wirtz. All right, green flag, set to fly. Here we go, 3 to go. A.J. tried to get a run on him. Now he looks to the low side. A.J. Wirtz trying to take the lead back, but Register fights back on the high side. And Register will lead it into corner number 3. Coming around this time, it'll be 10 laps complete. 2 laps to go. A.J. Wirtz is running out of time now as Will Register has opened up about a 4-car length advantage on his closest competitor. A.J. Wirtz, the white flag set to fly this time around. 1 lap remains. Best battle on the speedway between Schrader back there in that 3rd spot and Chuck Coffey, but meanwhile up front, he brings it off of corner number 4. Your points leader gets it done here tonight. Will Register brings home the win. A.J. Wirtz will finish in that 2nd spot, followed by Schrader in the B1. Final 15 big laps tonight here for your street stock main event. Andrew Rourke trying to bring home his 2nd feature race victory of the year. We'll see if he can get it done. Henson's got a long way to go if he wants to make it number 5. Here they come, fans. Wave your hats, wave your hats, wave your programs, wave whatever you got. Your street stock main event. I love saying that. I don't get to do that anymore. I'm sorry, fans. Pick a favorite, which I'm sure you have them here at the Double X Speedway. The most passionate fans in racing are right here at Double X Speedway. I love coming here. Watch them off of 4. Watch your cars, watch your flagmen. Here we go. Andrew Rourke and Harlan Boy Dow. Dow takes the lead down the back. Harlan Dow looking strong here tonight, going after his first win of the year. He is your current leader. Rourke is second. Johnny Wyman is third, but up front it's Harlan Boy. Harlan now stretching it out, lap number 3. Yellow flag flying for the first time tonight. Yellow flag out. Incident over here between corners 1 and 2. Can Harlan Boyd Dow hang on for the win? He's going for his first one here tonight. He's looking awfully strong in that number 29. But Andrew Rourke is right there, ready to pounce in the H2. Johnny Wyman currently sitting in that 3rd spot. John Clancy in 4th. And Dale Berry had that strong run in the heat race, currently sitting in that 5th position. So just 2 laps complete, 13 to go here tonight for the Street Stocks, our opening main event, 15 big laps. Looking for the green, keep an eye on the cone, here we go! Everybody gets by the cone and they'll give chase to Harlan Boyd Dow. Great battle with Clancy now as he moves up the field. John Clancy on the move. Clancy trying to pick up a spot. We got contact between Wyman and Rourke. Keep an eye on that sheet metal on the H2 of Andrew Rourke. Contact with the 95 might have pushed that sheet metal into the tire. Harlan, your leader. Oh, Harlan, boy, you got to get going because Rourke is on the move. Harlan leads another one. Six laps down that time. 9 laps to go, coming around for lap number 7 right here. Lap 7 coming at you. Andrew Rourke is right there in that H2. Rourke now trying to figure out how he can get around the 29 of Harlan Dow. Here comes John Clancy in 3rd. Great 3-car battle up front between Dow, Rourke, and John Clancy. Clancy started this event in 6th. He's made his way up to 3rd. Harlan Dow leads another time. This is lap number 10 right here, lap 10 right here. 5 to go, 5 laps remain. Rourke tries to stick it in there and he gets a little sideways. That's going to open the door for John Clancy. Can Clancy make the pass? Oh no, he cuts him off. And Harlan will lead another one. 4 to go. Rourke unable to get off strong off the corner number 2, and he loses a little bit of ground. 3 laps remain. John Clancy now to the inside of Rourke. We got a battle for that 2nd spot down the back straightaway. Winding down the laps here at Double X Speedway for our Street Stocks. It's a 3-car battle. 2 to go. The The white flag will fly for Harlan Boydell. This time around, we got Clancy coming up the outside. White flag is in the air, 1 to go. For the final time now down the back straightaway, Harlan Boydell in search of his first victory. Here comes Clancy. Clancy trying to make a move off the final corner, but to the line it'll be Harlan now. Clancy brings it home second, Rourke third, Wyman in fourth. Great run by Jay Lyle in fifth. Hinson brings it home sixth. Blank is your pole sitter tonight in the 75 to his outside. Randy Martin from right here in California in the 48. Second on the inside, Jonathan Cornell in the 28, and Chad Ely in the 22. Like to say a special hello to David and Julie Goodson tonight here from Impact Signs, sponsoring that number 22 of Chad Ely as well. Hello, David and Julie. Great to see those race supporters out here tonight. Third row on the inside, Cody Baker in the 38. To his outside, Lanny Carpenter in the 24. Jason Johnson will drive the 77 from the inside to row number 4. To his outside, TJ Moose in the 65. Brian Grimes, fifth row on the inside in the number 6. To his outside, Tyler Elliott in the 49. Sixth row on the inside, scheduled to start out of Warrensburg, Missouri in the 93. It's Taylor Walton into his outside in the Double X machine, AJ Wirtz. And if you make it tonight, starting tailback, John Thunen in the 0 car. That will be your 25-lap wing sprint car main event. And we are green. Here we go. Blank is your early race leader with Randy Martin settling into that second spot, followed in third by Jonathan Cornell. He's up on the high side, your current points leader, well in control of this one here tonight. The 0 machine of John Thunen unable to finish, so tough break for him. John Thunen heads back to the pits. He's out for the night. Your leader, Tyler Blank in the 75. Tyler Blank now with a full straightaway advantage over the 48 machine of Randy Martin out of California, Missouri. Jonathan Cornell tried to close in. Cornell up into that third spot now, followed by Chad Ely in the 22. And the 38 machine of Cody Baker currently sitting in that fifth spot. Jason Johnson now just outside of the top 5, sitting in that 6th position in the 77. Laps quickly clicking off here. 5 laps down, 20 to go. First to go a lap down will be the Double X machine of AJ Wirtz. AJ now to the high side, your race leader. The 75 of Tyler Blank dives down to the low side. Randy Martin now able to get around the lap car. He'll have to really get on the loud pedal now if he wants to reel in. Race long leader Tyler Blank in that 75. Jonathan Cornell also able to make his way around the lap machine of AJ Wirtz in that Double X. Jonathan Cornell now begins to close in on Randy Martin in that 48 as they look for a way to reel in Tyler Blank, your leader. This time around will be 10 laps complete. This time by 10 laps down, 15 laps remain. Right there, your leader, Tyler Walton in the 70, Tyler Blank in the 75. It's a 3-car breakaway now with Tyler Blank, Randy Martin, and Jonathan Cornell. Chad Ely quite a ways back, a full straightaway back in that 4th position. Then comes the 77, Jason Johnson, your touring driver here tonight in the 77 machine, the Jesse Hockett Racing 77, makes his way up to the 5th position. Cody Baker sliding backwards now in the 38. He currently sits in the 6th spot, followed by Brian Grimes in the 6th, currently holding down the 7th position. Walton now goes a lap down to that number 93 as Tyler Blank continues to set a torrid pace here, leading Randy Martin and Jonathan Cornell. side-by-side battle here off of corner number 4 as Chad Ely and Jason Johnson really go at it. The 22 and the 77 going at it for the 4th position. Lap 15 right there. 15 down, 10 to go. 15 laps in the books, 10 laps remain. Can Tyler Blank hang on to it, pick up his first win of the year? He's your points leader, but still looking for that first victory. Problems now for the 93 of Taylor Walton. Taylor Walton takes the 93 off. Tough break for that young man as a yellow flag is out for the stall machine of Taylor Walton up here in between corners 1 and 2. To the line, Tyler's on the loud pedal. Here we go. Randy Martin tries to pull the slider. Can he pull it off? Here comes Cornell. Jonathan Cornell up there. Tyler Blank fights back. Randy Martin might have caught your leader sleeping that time around. New leader, Randy Martin. Jonathan Cornell now left to do battle back here with race-long leader Tyler Blank, who has slipped back to that second spot. Randy Martin up front, leads it. I hope I didn't jinx your leader, but time and time again, we've seen it, especially in sprint car racing. The slider gets pulled and we have a new race leader. Number 19 coming at you. Just 6 laps remain for Randy Martin. Tyler Blank in second. Jonathan Cornell barely hanging on to that 3rd spot as here comes Jason Johnson now in that 77, trying to take away that 3rd spot to pick up a podium finish here tonight. Right here, lap 20, 5 laps to go. Cornell now able to recover for that 3rd spot. Here comes Tyler. Tyler now slowly reeling Randy Martin back in. The white flag will fly this time around. Look at Tyler trying to get everything he can. He gets into the wall a little bit. He's got just a couple laps to do it as the white flag is set to fly. Here they come. It's a 2-man battle tonight here at the Double X Speedway. Tyler Blank in the 75 trying to do everything he can to get back around. Randy Martin, your leader in the 48 in the Brown Farms machine. Here comes Tyler. Who's it going to be? Watch him to the line. Out of corner number 4 out of California, Randy Martin takes the win. Tyler Blank will settle in for that 2nd spot. Jonathan Cornell hangs on for the 3rd position. He's followed the line by Jason Johnson in the 77. To the line, Chad Ely edges out Ryan Grimes.
Hope you enjoyed the information on the Blacktop Nationals and enjoyed the racing from Double X Speedway. Thanks to Mike Kraft. See you next week on the Grassroots Racing.